Hi everyone, how's everyone doing? This is Miss Molly, and I've made a short video for you in which I am reading a story and including a drawing lesson to accompany the story. I chose a story that we actually read together in our CAPE unit. There's a couple reasons I'm reading a story that we already read together. And the first one being, I love reading stories again. I always get something new when I read them a second time. I always see something new or think of something new. And I'm always inspired to create art by reading stories. The second reason I'm reading you a familiar story is that when we read the story together, I don't think we knew that school would be canceled, right? So a lot has changed in the last couple weeks. School has canceled, and we're at home, and we're learning and experiencing life at home right now. So I thought it would be a great way to reconnect and to remember some of the things that we were learning in CAPE through reading the story. So in our CAPE unit, we were learning about pattern and color and shape and emotions. We were talking about expressing feelings and emotions through art. And we were also going to tie that into science and nature. We didn't get to that part yet, but we will. So the story that I'm going to read to you today is called The Color Monster by Anna Yanas. And I'm going to do my best to show you the pictures in a way that you can see and appreciate the story. Okay, so this is the color monster. Today he woke up feeling confused and he doesn't know why. Are you all mixed up again, color monster? Your emotions don't work well when they're all jumbled up. Your feelings all jumbled up. You should try to separate them and put each one in its own jar. If you'd like, I can help you. Let's try to make sense of how you feel. There's all the jars. This is happiness. It shines yellow like the sun and twinkles like the star. Sorry, let's see. There we go. When you're happy, you laugh and jump and dance and play. You want to share your happiness with everyone. Here's the birdie. This is sadness. It is lonely and blue like a rainy day. It washes over you like the sea. When you're sad, you hide and want to be alone. You don't want to do anything except maybe cry. It's okay to cry, color monster. There he's crying. This is anger. It burns red like fire and is hard to stamp out. When you're angry, life can feel unfair. Sometimes you want to take out your anger on others, but I'll be nice to you, color monster, and your anger will disappear. So sometimes we can help others with their anger, and sometimes we can let them feel their anger. This is fear. It hides and runs away like a mouse in the night. Look at his expression. So we kind of get the sense of the feeling from the color and the shapes. And now look at his expression on his face. He looks scared and afraid. When you're afraid, you feel tiny. You think you don't have the courage to face the gray shadows. But I can help you find your way. This is calm. It is quiet like the trees and as light as green leaves swaying in the wind. There's calm monster. When you're calm, you breathe slowly and deeply. You feel at peace. It helps to go outside and be in nature. Now you can rest, color monster. All your feelings are in the right place. See, don't you feel much better? There's all the different color monsters. There's sad monster, angry, afraid, happy, and calm. Uh-oh, I see you're feeling something new. You look different, color monster. Tell me, how do you feel now? What color is the color monster now? Oh, the end. And here we have all of the feelings organized. The end. So in our class that we had together at school, we drew a color monster. So each one of us drew a color monster. We thought about what color we were that day. So that day, I might have been feeling happy. I think I even drew an angry monster that day. I remember at one point I drew an angry monster. So we talked about how feelings change, sometimes from day to day, sometimes from moment to moment. So I'm going to take a deep breath and just think about how I feel right now and what color is my monster right now. I think I'm going to draw a green monster. And for me, that means calm. It could mean something else for you. So just pick a color for your color monster, okay? And now we're going to draw a color monster. So we're at home. We did this at school. At home, you can draw one color monster. You can draw a series of color monsters. You can use the materials that you have at home. And I wanted to show you this close up. So one of the reasons I love this book, I'm going to show you the fish page, is that the artist or the illustrator used lots of different materials. So I'm going to show you this close up. You can see the fish. It looks like the artist drew on, colored paper here and then cut and glue out the fish. And then there's cardboard here and drew on top of the fish and cut it out. Some of the images were drawn right onto the page. So the reason I love this so much is that we're at home and we all have different materials. We have access to different materials. So if you have crayons, if you have pencils, if you have colored paper, at one point I think there's even newspaper in here. Yep, newspaper. The artist used newspaper to create here, to create the pictures in the book. So that's another reason I love this book, because you can use whatever you have. So let's get back to it. So we're gonna so I'm gonna start with white paper. You can follow along with me, or as I said, use your own materials. So we've talked a lot about shape. I'm gonna review some of the basic geometric shapes. I'm gonna do this first. So our basic geometric shapes that we have circle, triangle, square, rectangle, and then there were some hearts in the story. And so how do we create our monster shapes? In our lesson at school, I gave you shapes to trace. So today you're going to draw your shapes. And so when I was thinking about monster shapes, what I did was I kind of combined my basic geometric shapes to make monster shapes. So this shape for the head, I combined a square with small triangles on the top. For the pants, I used, I thought of a big rectangle, and then I made it a skinny triangle there. For the arms, I just made a long rectangle and added the skinny triangles on the end. So once you know your basic shapes, you can start combining them to make other things. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to use a black marker so that you can see, and white paper. So I'm going to start with my marker. First, I'm going to draw the monster head. And I'm going to start with my square. And then the top of my head is jagged triangles. And again, if you want to interpret this in your own way, feel free. If you want to follow along with me, you can. So then I'm going to add a neck and a shirt. Let's do like a rectangle here. And I'm going to make my monster's going to have a skirt. So here's my skirt, which is kind of like a triangle, wide triangle. And then I'm going to add legs, feet. And then I'm going to add my arms, and you can give your arms movement, bend the elbows. And then if you want to add patterns or details, let me see if I can hold this up. You can do that. So maybe your monster has like scales. So I'm just doing zigzag line. Or you could do little like triangles. You could make another pattern on a different part of the monster. Okay, and then the last thing I'm going to add is my facial expression. We noticed in the book, the facial expressions really showed the emotion. So mine is, my monster, I think I said green, so I'm going to draw a calm expression. So my eyes are closed. Head and nose, and I'm going to draw sort of a wiggly, calm mouth, and then I'm going to add teeth because she is a monster. And there's my calm monster. Okay. And then, so once you draw your outline and add your facial expression and your details, you can color in your monster. And so mine's green. I picked also yellow to kind of add a little variety. So yellow is a color that's really similar to green. It's next to green on the color wheel. If you have, different materials, like if you have colored pencils, you can pick out different greens and color it in. Okay, so I'm not going to finish this while I'm on the video, But I wanted to show you a few other finished monster drawings. Here's my pink cheerful monster. She has a different expression. And here's my bright yellow monster. One other thing that I added, if you're interested, you can do some writing to go along with your drawing. So I wrote at the top, today is whatever color you chose. So today is yellow. And then at the bottom, I thought about what other things does that color remind me of? So when I think of yellow, I think of the sunshine, I think of yellow flowers. So I wrote, today is yellow. Yellow is sunshine and daffodils. That's a type of flower. And then for my other monster, today is pink. Pink is flowers, bubblegum, and happiness. And so what would I write for green? Today is green. Green is green meadows and beautiful trees. I hadn't thought of that ahead of time. So, also, I know I mentioned you can use scissors. If you have scissors, you can cut out your monster. So for my green monster, I was going to cut it out. I'll just do a little part here. And then glue on a green piece of paper. If you want to do that. If you also, one final thing, if you want to use colored paper, you can cut out some details, like maybe like teeth, green teeth. You can cut out shapes and add more details to your monster. So now again, the purpose of this video is just to share with you and give you an opportunity to continue to think about some of the things we talked about in our CAPE unit, to give you some fun ideas for things to do at home. Use what materials you have, do what you can, and have some fun thinking about emotions, feelings, and all the different shapes and colors that we've learned about in art. And thank you so much for joining me and watching the video, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks. Bye.